Hi, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Hollie, and I'd like to share with you a little bit of my story. In late 2017, my son had just turned 2 years old, and my daughter was just a few months old when I suddenly and unexpectedly became a single mother. While it was initially devastating, I was immediately thrown into fight or flight mode. I had 2 young children that I had to provide for. At the time, I was a stay-at-home mother living in a house that we needed to move out of. I was able to find a job that allowed me to work part-time hours while providing full-time benefits for the children and I. I was also able to take my children with me to work, which was such a blessing because it allowed me to be their stability during a time of change. During this time period, I was also calling apartment complexes every single day until the perfect place became available at the perfect time. When I look back, I like to think of the leasing consultant as kind of like a guardian angel in my life. I walked in with both of my children and she assisted me in the office to print all of the documentation I needed, secured the apartment for us when these apartments weren't supposed to be held, and we were able to move in. I believe that this was the work of God in my life. In 2019, the children and I were thriving, until one day I returned home from work and we received a devastating blow. I was facing a second custody trial in 2 years and the lives of my children were up in the air. I felt like I wouldn't make it through court again and I was petrified at what this meant for my children, not to mention the financial strain that it put me through. It was during this time that I got up one morning, got my children ready, and we attended Centerpointe Church. I have to admit, I was a little hesitant and didn't know how I would be received as a single mother. We couldn't have been made to feel more welcome, and it became home. It was during that first service that I filled out the card indicating my interest in spiritual coaching, and so my journey began. I attended coaching sessions every week and prayed hard. I also listened to Waymaker every day. Even when I don't see it, you're working. You never stop working. My children must have caught on because one day I walked in to find them at their craft table making a picture for their grandmother, singing the lyrics of the song together. I prayed to God and asked for there to be a specific reason that I was going through what I was going through. Please, God, let there be a reason that I'm going through this. Scripture that I leaned on during this time was Matthew 7:24 through 25. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, yet it did not fall because it had its foundation on the rock. I was building my foundation on my rock, God. I made it through court, and it was a successful outcome. Not only were the lives of my children not uprooted, but I was given freedoms that I did not have before. The experience that I went through was for more than just that reason. It brought me to Christ, and through me, it brought my children to Christ. I'm telling you this story because we all go through dark times, and during those times, God is with us. Jeremiah 29:13 says, "You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart." I encourage you to actively seek God, to pray specifically through whatever trials you may be facing, and to utilize any resources that you may have, such as spiritual coaching. God is our hope, our light, and our future. And I want you to find the same joy and hope that I've found.